All right, let's talk about the one thing that can absolutely make or break your day out on the water. More than that, it can make or break your engine's entire life. We're diving into how to mix fuel for your two-stroke outboard.
So let's just kick things off with the one question every single two-stroke owner has to get right. Because, a lot of people have learned the hard way that getting this wrong, well, it leads to a very, very expensive and just a really bad day.
And I'm not exaggerating here, I've seen it myself. Forgetting about this one little step, just properly mixing your fuel and oil, it's honestly one of the fastest ways to kill an engine. This stuff is literally the lifeblood of your motor, so we have got to get it right.
Okay, so first things first, we need to lay the foundation for a healthy engine. And that all starts with getting that fuel-to-oil ratio absolutely perfect.
This right here, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? The number one rule of owning a two-stroke is knowing this magic number. It's the specific blend that keeps all those moving parts inside your engine happy and perfectly lubricated.
And there it is, 50-1. For most of those older Evinrude two-stroke engines you see out there, this is the number. 50 parts gasoline to 1 part oil. It's pretty much the industry standard, and for good reason.
But hold on a second. That ratio isn't always carved in stone. See, if you've got a brand new engine or one that's just been rebuilt, you actually need a richer mix. We're talking 25-1. It provides that extra bit of lubrication during that really critical break-in period. So yeah, 50-1, which works out to about 2.6 ounces of oil for every gallon of gas, is a fantastic rule of thumb. But it's not universal. And that brings us to the golden rule, the most important rule of all. Always, always check your owner's manual. That book is the final word for your specific engine. Now, getting the ratio right, that's only half the battle. The kind of oil you use is completely non-negotiable. It has to be NMMA TCW3 certified. And look, that's not just a brand name. It's a tough standard that proves the oil can handle the crazy demands of a marine engine.
And this is exactly why you can't just run to the auto parts store and grab any old two-stroke oil. Car oil is made for air-cooled engines. If you put that in your boat, you're basically asking for a gunked-up, underperforming motor that's on a fast track to failure.
Okay, so we've got the right ratio and we've got the right oil. Now for the really practical part. How do we combine them perfectly every single time with zero guesswork?
Before you even think about touring anything, get your toolkit ready. It's super simple. You need fresh gas, your TCW3 oil, a clean fuel can, and, this is the important part, a good way to measure. Seriously, this is no time to just eyeball it.
The process itself, it's all about precision. Step 1, gas goes into a separate portable can. Then you add your carefully measured oil. Step 3, seal it up tight and give it a really good shake to blend it all together. Only then are you ready to pour it into your boat's main tank.
And that brings me to a question I get all the time. People always ask, hey, can't I just save a step? Why not just dump the oil and gas right into the boat's tank? It seems easier, right? But there's a huge reason why you shouldn't do that.
The answer is a definite no. If you mix in the main tank, you can get something called fuel stratification. That's a fancy way of saying the oil doesn't mix in right, and you get these pockets of pure, raw gasoline. When that stuff hits your engine, it's like running it with no oil at all. It causes serious damage. All right, let's talk about the very real and, believe me, very expensive things that happen when you get this mix wrong. It's time for a little reality check.
You can mess this up in 2 ways, and trust me, both are bad news. Too little oil, you're literally starving the engine of lubrication. Friction and heat just skyrocket, and that leads to scored cylinders and total engine failure. Too much oil, now you're just choking it. The oil won't burn right, it fouls your spark plugs, and it just kills your performance.
And look, don't just take my word for it. This is a quote from a real boat owner. Almost $1,000 down the drain, all because they guessed the mix instead of using a $5 measuring cup. That's a painful, painful lesson to learn.
So, getting the mix right is obviously key for when you're using the boat. But what about when you're not? Storing your fuel the right way is just as important if you're in this for the long haul.
Just look at the power of one simple additive. It's incredible. Regular old gasoline can start to go bad in just a few months, but if you add a good marine fuel stabilizer, you can stretch that out for up to a whole year. It's probably the cheapest insurance policy you can buy for your engine.
So, when boating season wraps up, you basically have two good options. You can drain the whole system completely, or you can do what I like to do, fill the tank up with fresh, stabilized fuel and then just run the engine for a couple of minutes. That pushes that protected fuel through the entire system and it keeps it safe from corrosion all winter long.
All right, let's just boil this all down to the 4 things you absolutely have to remember. Number 1, the ratio. 50:1 is your standard. 2, the oil. Make it NMMA TCW3 always. 3, the method. Pre-mix it in a separate can. And 4, storage. Use a fuel stabilizer. That's the formula right there.
So I'll just leave you with this thought. All the fun you have out there, the freedom, the long-term health of your motor, it all comes down to just a couple of minutes of careful work before you even leave the dock. Is protecting your investment and guaranteeing a great day on the water worth 5 minutes of your time? You bet it is.